Hi everyone, and I wish you a good afternoon here at WCTV. I am Michelle Merrix with Reclaim the Confident You. I am a female coach and I'm a life coach, but I specialize in mindset and confidence. And today I wanted to talk to you about the difference between coaching and therapy. This is something that I get asked a lot, and I thought I would come on today and explain to you the difference. Some people kind of wonder, should I sit in therapy? Should I be in therapy? Am I done with therapy? Can I do both? And that's what I want to do, is answer those questions for you today. So I run a program that's called the Mindful Her Woman, and it's a newly created program. So the Mindful Her Woman is someone who feels good about who she is, knows if she's not feeling good about who she is, she's going to do something about it. She has clarity, she has good thought, and she's feeling her best. She's really moving along forward in life, in her best life. The Mindful Her Woman has clarity, but also emotional intelligence. And she's extremely mindful of what she's doing in her life and really wants the best relationships that she can possibly have. So the difference between therapy and where you are in life and the difference between coaching. What I always find that has happened is there is something in life, as I always say, if you've watched this show before, there is your lifeline, which is also called the dash, the time that you're here on this earth and then the time you leave this earth. So you want to live the best possible life that you can within this timeline. As time goes on, you can find yourself in your teens and then your 20s, your 30s, your 40s, and of course life happens. And it doesn't always happen in the blueprint of our mind of what we think will exactly work the way that we want it to. And that's life. That's what we're here for. We're here for the journey. So what I do is I help women who are feeling stuck in life, who want to move forward, who want time to move on from the situation that they're in. And someone will always say to me, I feel stuck. I feel like this situation, I'm not moving forward. My client is a woman who has felt loss in her life. And loss can come from a job loss. It can come from a family member loss, a friendship loss, a relationship loss, a divorce loss, any possible loss in life that we have. And what happens is it's hard to get back on track after you have had what I call such a life quake. And there are tremors in that lifeline of things that happen in life, and then there are, on that Richter scale, really big tremors that have happened. And the largest thing that I always find are women who have felt loss and pain, but also loss is felt through other people, knowing other people who have hurt us, maybe not intentionally. Maybe you were expecting something different, which was your mind perspective. Maybe you're looking at someone and you are hoping for a more potential for them. So you're kind of trying to persuade them, but in a chance you see the professional or a future that they have for themselves that maybe they're not quite there yet. And you really want to control that situation, but you can't, because you cannot control others. The quicker that you learn that you cannot control other people, the easier your life will be. What you can control is you. And when I'm working with women, because I'm a female coach, when I'm working with women, we usually always come to loss. And also when I say loss, that means if someone has hurt you and your feelings are hurt as well, then with your feelings hurting, that is painful, meaning it's emotional. You have hurt feelings because someone has said something to you that you didn't expect, or there's been some kind of drama, etc. But what you want to do is get through this phase of life and you want to move on. And there is a difference between therapy and coaching. And I want to explain that to you today. So therapy, which is focus, purpose, and I printed a few things out, so it might make it easier for me to break it down and explain. So coaching is primarily goal-oriented in the fact of, I feel stuck in this situation in life even at emotional pain. Therapy and coaching will cross over in emotional pain because therapy will help you break down things like trauma from your past, maybe childhood trauma, and behavior, while there's certain behavior elements that are happening. It's very deep-rooted, therapy is. And in coaching, my goal is to know about your past, but as a coach, we work from the present to the future. We are moving you forward. We are not going to sit and talk about your past, though I do know many things about you because I am your confidant. But we are not directed or aimed at talking about the emotional pain and the trauma. We know that something has happened. We know exactly what it is. But you're the woman that says, I've been through therapy, I'm going through therapy. And the two are very different. So therapy breaks down to like past focused and aims to explore and address things that are emotional, psychological, and mental issues. And with that, you need to understand how to manage your emotions. You need to learn to cope, and especially coping with trauma and overcome any kind of mental health. And for instance, if there has been death or a loss of a loved one, your immediate phase that you go into is survival mode, because you are trying to learn how to accept what has happened, move on with what has happened, but you're not moving on, and that can be kind of frustrating. And you're asking yourself, how can I sit in this frozen state right now while the world around me is happening and moving on, and I am sitting here like I feel frozen? And I'm watching everything happen around me because you are really traumatized by the loss of someone, and it's extremely painful. So sitting down to talk with a therapist about these traumas, I will highly recommend to you if you were to come to me, and I would look and say, you really need to be in therapy because you're needing to cope with things that are extremely deep. And talk therapy is something too that is good. I'm a confidant, and we can definitely talk and we work everything out. And again, I know about your past, but what you are is you're committed to changing and moving forward. When you're sitting in a brand new trauma, you are not ready to move forward. You are ready to absorb and try to comprehend what happened. When you are in an immediate relationship loss, let's say your husband's come to you, he wants a divorce, or you've both decided you want a divorce, that is now in a trauma mode in a sense where it's new and you're trying to learn to accept the situation that has gone on, that's happened, or what you've both decided. Also the difference, if you're looking at time, as far as someone will ask me, how long do I need to be in coaching? How long do I need to be in therapy? This is something that's always asked. Coaching is a shorter term because it moves you along quicker. And therapy, you can sit in therapy for a long time. Some people sit in therapy for years. My job is to take you from the present where you are and move you forward in a quick manner, meaning I don't want you sitting here for years. My job is to take you from where you are in the present and move you ahead in a faster fashion, in a sense, because we're not working through those complete survival mode places. You're the person who's now has been in acceptance, but you're ready to move on. And I've had women who have been in therapy, talk therapy, and they've said, okay, I've learned how to cope. My therapist was great for that, but now I'm ready to move on to other things. I have goals that I want to hit, etc. But here's the difference. And I've done this in my own practice. If I speak with you 1 hour a week, and we have 1 hour worth of time, and that time is over, and then I don't talk to you for another week, what has happened in that week can be huge. We can talk about all the differences and the tools and the change of habit, but because of the subconscious brain and the conscious brain, we can talk about that, and I won't get into that today. But because of that, you can talk with someone for 1 hour, and 2 days later, you're back to the same habit, because that subconscious is where the habit comes from. So now you're still doing the same habit, and then you come back and you have a 1 hour session 1 week later. So as coaching, what happens is we talk one-on-one. I am your confidant, and we talk we talk throughout the week. I could talk to a client 4 or 5 times a week. And what we do is we message each other. If you need a phone call, that phone call happens. And I'm holding you accountable, but I'm also walking you through the process as you go on with your daily life. And what happens is we have behavior, etc., that needs to change. And in order to change, most of the time there are habits that need change, which changes behavior, thought patterns change. And as I am specifically a mindset coach, we work all about the mindset. And if you ask me, I will tell you everything comes down to mindset. All of the emotions, how you look at life, comes down to your perception and your mindset of how you think of actions that are happening, of how you think of things that are going around you. Every thought that you have will also affect your emotion. When you have an emotion, it's going to go into an action or a behavior. And then what happens is that behavior always creates a result. And we want to look at behavior patterns as well as far as what your mindset is. So you can see the difference between sitting with me and talking about a type of trauma that has just happened. And please don't get me wrong, I have worked with several different clients with several issues. Sometimes what's amazing is I have worked with women who were mothers who have lost a child. It's the absolute worst pain for a mother or a father to go through losing a child. The worst pain that you can imagine. And then there, of course, is divorce. There's breakup of the family. That is very painful. There are all of these talks that we go through. But what you are not when you talk with me is you're not still in that survival mode of I can't even get out of bed because I am so sad and I can't remember what I'm saying. I feel absolutely numb. So those are your differences. And I am goal-oriented. But what also happens is not only are we talking one-on-one, you are free to message me within time limits, of course. You're free to message me and we talk and we get you through what's happening. I know what's going on in your week. When I see you next week, actually when we're one-on-one, if we're Zooming, what have you, because I do have clients in different countries, when we are talking one-on-one, I already know what's gone on during your week. I know where you are at. And then also when you work with me, there is on Facebook, there's a support group that I run as well, which means there are other clients in there that are looking for the same thing you are. They're like-minded, like women who, as we talk through the Mindful Woman or the Mindful Her Woman, as we're talking through our program, you again then are meeting online with these other women and then women become friends. And like I've become friends with women in Australia, in London, the UK, Mexico, Canada. So it's really unique having the opportunity when you're working online as well. But this is what's very interesting. Your progress when you're working one-on-one, then daily, that we're talking, you're working daily, you're also in a program, you're also having a support group, is 85% quicker you heal or you move towards your goals. And that depends what your goal is. But when you have a support group, 85% increase of you moving forward more quickly in your life. And that is my goal for you. And my biggest goal for you is your happiness. So when you work with me, the big goal is for you to be happy and living the life that you absolutely want to have. So that is definitely a difference in here. And I am a coach that comes from experience. You have to, and I can speak with you about the difference of this. There are coaches who are certified, not certified. I am a certified coach. I'm also certified in mindset. And you have therapists who, of course, have gone to school and they're licensed. They work through the medical board. They're working through health department. They're social workers, etc. And what happens is it's with anything. You can go to the dentist and have a really good dentist, or you can go to a dentist and you don't feel that they're that great. So what happens is you want someone you can connect with. And what's very important for me in coaching is if I am coaching you, it's because it is from an experience that I have come from myself in my life. And I'm happy to break that down on a different show as well. But the difference in the therapy and the coaching too is how much has my therapist had the experience of what I'm coming to talk about? Not just to train me from a book, but real life experience. And in coaching, that's what you want to look for. How much has my coach worked in or experienced what I am experiencing in my life? How much loss has happened? How much, has she, if I want to talk to her about job loss, has she lost a job? That would make sense. So you want someone who comes from the experience that you're going through, that is happening with you. So there is something, this is another thing I want to address. How long will it take for me to achieve my goals, all of my goals, not just how long will I be there? I can tell you if you're working for me in my practice, working with me, in my practice, it's the same thing. We're talking one-on-one, we're messaging each other. I know where you're at. If you need a phone call, you let me know, I'll call you. You're in a support group, and you have a program that has all the tools and things that you need. I don't call it homework, I call it soul work. And what happens with that is you'll see results within the first 2 weeks. You'll understand things in the first 2 weeks. I tell each and every client who wants to work with me 3 months, minimal 3 months, because it takes time in order to change a habit. It takes time to have new thought perspective. And depending where you are, most of my clients can go longer with me, but we don't go years. My job is to move you along and to where you're feeling good and you're understanding and you're having good thought perspective. And there's one more thing that I will touch base on is anyone who notifies me, and what I mean by that is you can call me, you can email me, but the difference for me, I can tell you, I ask every client who we talk, and how do you know that I would be a good coach for you? There's a 30-minute free consultation, and because you want the right fit for me, and I want it to be the right fit with you also. But what happens is, when you call during that time, I will ask you, are you a woman of faith? Because my coaching most definitely includes you believing in God and you believing in something higher than yourself. Because when you are trying to heal from something and you are feeling stuck, there is a greater power in your life. And I work with women of faith, and we definitely talk about that. And it's a big difference. But I can tell you every conversation that I have with women that I know, I'm not saying it happens in every session or what have you, but you are faith-led women. And there is a higher power because there is something very internal with your soul that we connect with. So I can tell you that in my personal practice, I do that as well. And I do know, like in therapy, things are hard sometimes for therapists because they do have to answer to the medical board. But I don't answer to the medical board. You do have to answer to your certification and what you do. But you need to lead through integrity. And everything comes down to love. There are two things everyone wants. Everyone wants to give love, and they want to feel loved. So I thank you so much today. If you would love to contact me, you'll see on the screen that you can reach me on my Gmail, Michelle Merrix at Gmail, MichelleMerrix.com. You actually no longer need the dash. I'll be changing some of this information for you. And my phone number is 330-801-3040. I would love to hear from you. If you're feeling stuck, it's 30 minutes that we talk and see if this is a fit for you. I thank you. I hope that you have a great, wonderful day here in Wadsworth, Ohio. It's kind of hot today, so we're liking that in October. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
You are watching WCTV, Wadsworth Community Television.